And Wall Street is adding to its winning week Thursday following the latest signal that inflation is continuing to ease in the economy. Stocks are building on gains after more data raised hopes that inflation is cooling enough to convince the Federal Reserve to end its run of hikes to interest rates very soon. High inflation and interest rate hikes have been the main reason investors have been fearing a possible recession. Treasury yields fell further in the bond market as trades pared bets for Fed rate hikes later this year. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission has opened an investigation into OpenAI, the maker of ChatGPT, on claims it has violated consumer protection laws by putting personal reputations and data at risk. The move marks the strongest regulatory threat to the Microsoft-backed startup. The FTC this week sent a 20-page demand for records about how OpenAI addresses risks related to its AI models. The agency is investigating whether the company engaged in unfair or deceptive practices that resulted in reputational harm to consumers. One of the questions has to do with steps OpenAI has taken to address the potential for its products to generate statements about real individuals that are false, misleading, or disparaging. The Washington Post was the first to report the probe. Lawmakers are racing to regulate artificial intelligence, saying it poses major national security and economic threats. But how do you regulate AI? Take a look.
Investing in AI. On Wednesday, Elon Musk announcing he's launching his own artificial intelligence company to focus on the rapidly evolving tech and possibly build a rival to ChatGPT.
You can't put genies like this back in bottles.
The announcement comes one day after the first ever classified Senate briefing on AI. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle agreeing artificial intelligence should be regulated.
These hearings are not about any one thing. It's to get all 100 members to a level where when we start to legislate, we can try to do it the best way possible.
But the big question is how? On Tuesday, the White House briefed lawmakers about the dangers from national security risks to threats to the U.S. economy and American jobs.
It's going to put some people out of work. It'll create new jobs, but it's going to eliminate some jobs, and it's going to have a real societal impact.
What's the validation of AI-related content? There's tremendous intellectual property concerns.
And while no clear plan emerged from that meeting, some lawmakers who spoke afterwards said Congress should consider adopting some sort of legislative safeguards to limit the fast-moving technology. But it's complicated.
All the issues AI will impact, national security may well be the most consequential in the wrong hands. But AI could also become one of the greatest tools we have for keeping America safe.
Even the creators of the technology are asking lawmakers for help. Back in May, the CEO of the company behind ChatGPT testified before Congress.
My name is Sam Altman.
And proposed creating a new federal agency to regulate AI. Since then, a bill has been reintroduced to do just that, but has not been voted on.
And finally, the new movie Sound of Freedom by Angel Studios is seeing success at the box office. How did the film achieve the box office numbers, and what is its impact? Here to talk to me is Angel Studios Senior VP of Global Distribution, Jared Giese. Jared, just tell us about the success you're seeing with this film.
Yeah, thank you. The success has been just amazing to watch, as there's really been a movement that's coming around this film, and that was really our goal from the beginning. Launching this film on July 4th, our mission was, and continues to be, to get 2 million people in theaters to represent the 2 million children that are trafficked around the world. And we've more than doubled that goal so far, and it's continuing to grow, and which was really our hope from the beginning, that people would watch this film and be impacted by it and want to share it with others and really just spread awareness about this important issue.
This success you're seeing here, did you expect that from the get-go?
Well, you have great hopes, and you do your best to plan for success, and really what you see as the audience is responding. We had early ticket sales with the theaters so that we could see some great momentum. And so we started the launch with 10 million in pre-sales, which gave us a lot of confidence going in. And so we definitely had a better sense of it, I would say, than a lot of what the trades and the online box office prognosticators. It felt like a lot of surprise to them. So we knew it would do better than that, but now it's even exceeded by far what we initially had projected. And who knows where it's going to go.
I mean, it's been out for more than a week now. How does the box office look right now?
We just crossed 50 million at the box office, I would say yesterday morning, and really even before our second weekend. And so we're excited about going into this weekend. We've added 300 or 400 more theaters around the country. And so there'll be more places for people to watch it this weekend. Of course, there's lots of competition still, but we're excited to see that people are continuing to choose to support Sound of Freedom as they go to the theater.
I mean, speaking of competition, I think this movie is pretty much doing just as well as other blockbuster movies, like The Dial of Destiny.
Yes, we're right up there and, neck and neck for, some days number one, some days number two, three, we're consistently performing in the top box office tiers. And that's just a testament to people's desire to support this film and just really the quality of the film and the storytelling. It's a powerful film that's based on an incredible true story.
Yeah, it is very powerful. I'm curious what went into the name. Why Sound of Freedom?
Well, if you watch the movie, there's a moment where it's very clear why they call that the Sound of Freedom, and really just this moment with when the children are set free and they're celebrating and singing and the one of the actors says, you hear that? That's the sound of freedom, and so it's a perfect title, and that's why we really wanted to launch this film on July 4th. And to really highlight, on the day when we're celebrating freedom, a reminder that there are millions of people stuck in slavery without that freedom. And so it's just really resonated with people, and we're grateful for the response.
Yeah, just so that all of our viewers know, this movie is about child trafficking. It's a very serious subject matter, and you mentioned it is based on a true story. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's based on the true story of Tim Ballard. He was a former government agent, and he quit his job to go rescue children in Colombia. And so it stars Jim Caviezel and Mira Sorvino and Bill Camp. And so it's a challenging topic, but it also is a inspiring and hopeful thriller where it addresses this topic, but in a way that doesn't go too far or gratuitously deal with the subject, but in a way that shows you the horrors of it, but at a place that touches your heart and inspires you to that there's hope, that something can be done. And so the first step is awareness. And so that's what we're asking people to do, is to watch this film and to spread awareness about this issue that typically people don't want to talk about, child trafficking. And so it can be this kind of hidden thing. And so that's the first step that's definitely happening. And then we encourage people to research and support a local anti-trafficking organization of their choosing.
Yeah, and I think you bring out a very good point. I think what's impressive about this movie is that it tackles very serious issues, and it does it very well while maintaining a PG-13 rating.
Yes, you're definitely going to understand the topic. So we were happy to have the PG-13 rating, but it is a challenging topic, so people need to be aware of that. But it will impact your heart and definitely inspire you to want to be a part of ending this.
So maybe you can shed some light on this. The movie is obviously successful at the box office. What do you think made that happen?
Well, the Angel Studios model really leans into the support of the fans and a community that we build around each one of our films. And so we have what we call the Angel Guild, and it's made up of almost 100,000 people across the world who choose the content. And they watched Sound of Freedom, and they said, this is a story that amplifies light, and we would be very disappointed if this was not brought to theaters. And so it scored one of our highest ratings with our group. And so that community selected this film, and then we brought it to the crowd, who then invested $5 million in 2 weeks to bring the prints and advertising, the marketing campaign. They funded that to bring that to theaters, and then they've been paying it forward. And so we've launched a pay it forward program for theater tickets, where when you watch this movie, you can, as soon as the film is done, you can pull your phone out and scan a QR code and help other people to see it. And so we're seeing people across America scan those QR codes. They're impacted by the film, and they want other people to have that same experience. So you can actually watch Sound of Freedom for free in a theater. So if you can't afford to go to the movies, or for whatever reason, there are free tickets that have been paid for you that you can get at angel.com/free tickets.
I think the success of the movie doesn't just say something about the movie itself. Perhaps it also says something about what Americans want. They're, so to speak, voting with their feet, right?
Absolutely. I mean, that's one of the reasons we're very bullish on releasing movies in theaters, because it is a community experience. And when you go to the theater and you choose a movie like Sound of Freedom, you are saying, these are the kinds of stories we want in our community and in your city. And so you're telling the theater chains that that's what you want. And we've had amazing support and response from all the major theater chains and the mom and pop theater chains all across America, who have been happy to have this film in their theaters. So it creates an impact in our culture when you support these kinds of films.
And just one last thing, I'm wondering if you have any comments. There's a bit of controversy surrounding the movie, if you have anything to say about that.
Well, yeah, there's when you have especially a polarizing, and I shouldn't say a polarizing, I don't think there should be an issue that should be more unifying. I mean, I think we can all agree that child trafficking should be eradicated. So the fact that there are controversies has been a bit surprising to us. And I think anybody who's seen this film knows that the film and the story has nothing to do with any of those controversies.
All right, thank you so much today, Jared. It was such a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.